Hello there. So 3 days ago I posted a video about the dimming on the iPhone. While I was out making that video, Darren McHardy broke the news that DJI have reintroduced the option to turn charging on and off. And over the past couple of days everyone has been losing their minds over this. And that's all very well. It's good that they've introduced that, but what I want to know is, and I'm sure a lot of you want to know is, has it actually affected the dimming? So I've got exactly the same conditions that I had 3 days ago when I made the original video. It's 20 degrees, the sun is shining really brightly, there's a couple of wee puffy clouds, and I'm back in the exact same spot. So I'm going to send Lassie up under the same conditions with the phone charging option switched to off this time and see if the dimming has gone away. Okay, so here we go, sending her off just to the same, on the same path, same flight that I did the other day. The screen's actually quite dull already. Okay, so it's quite hard to see the screen as it is at the moment, and there it started to demonstrate away, 54 seconds. So the phone charging has made no difference whatsoever. Phone charging is off and it's made no difference. That is disappointing. Very disappointing. Can you bring her back over towards me? And after 1 minute and 22 seconds, I can hardly see the screen. So let's just check. Let's send it out a bit so you can't hear. So let's just check everything. Let's check first of all the display brightness on my screen. It's up full. If I go into settings, display and brightness, true tone makes no difference. Turning it to dark mode makes no difference. If I go into the accessibility and the display and text size, reducing the white point makes it even worse. Auto brightness, turning it on, makes no difference. Okay, so there we go. Quite disappointing to find that the turning the phone charging on and off has made no difference whatsoever. As you can see, the phone charging is on now. The screen's just as dull as it was. I can turn the phone charging off and it makes no difference to the screen whatsoever. So that is disappointing. However, I have another little option which may help me here, may not help you guys so much, unless you get one of these, but I'm going to test it out. and see if this thing works. So let's land, lassie. So sadly, the option to turn iPhone charging on and off has made no difference to the dimming whatsoever, which would lead me to possibly conclude that it's an iPhone problem, as I suspected all along. So that's the phone back up to full brightness, and what I'll do now is I'll put it in the hood. This hood that I purchased here from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone that's interested in purchasing it. And if you use my link, it won't cost you any more, but I'll get a tiny wee bit of commission. Hardly anything, to be honest with you. The only thing with these hoods, it's quite hard to reach all of the controls. So my screen's nice and bright and clear in here in this hood.
The home point has been updated.
Alrighty, and off we go.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Okay, screen's nice and bright. And I'm still sitting in exactly the same position. The only difference now is that the screen is being shaded from the sun. Let's see if it lasts longer than a minute this time. Check, make sure the phone charging is still off. It is. Coming up in 2 minutes, and the screen is still bright and clear. The sun's extremely bright today, and we're up at 21 degrees in temperature now. Now, when I did the test 3 days ago, the dimming occurred at 4 minutes. Today, the dimming occurred, I think, was it about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes? So now with the hood, we're approaching 3 minutes now, and it's still bright and clear. So let's get to the 4 minute point, and hopefully it will stay clear. And while we're waiting to reach the 4 minute point, I might just mention that the video that I recorded a week or so ago, when I revisited the Dark Skies Observatory, which was burned down, made the local press, and there was an article about it in the Coming Up Chronicle. I'll leave a link to that in one of the comments if you want to check that out. Well, my family think I'm becoming a bit of a minor local celebrity, but that's not true. Okay, coming up in 4 minutes now. The screen is still bright and clear. I'm using no filters today. 4.5 minutes, and all is still bright and clear with the hood. What I'll do is at the 5 minute point, if it's still bright and clear, I'll flick the hood off and see what happens. So we're beyond the point now of time. We're beyond the point of time where on the last video the screen dimmed. So we're coming up to 5 minutes now. And this hood is actually, it's working, making a great difference. Okay, just past 5 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll flick the hood off. So there's the hood off now, and I'm just using the camera, and let's restart the recording so we can keep an eye on the time and see if the screen goes dim again. Now, I don't know if the screen's going dim or not, but it's certainly a lot harder to see without the shade. So I think I'm going to be using the shade from now on, regardless of whether the phone charging is working or not. One other thing that I did do this time is I removed the phone cover, and I'm wondering if that's now making a difference. Along with the phone charging being turned off. It's a minute and a half without the hood, without the phone cover, and the phone hasn't dimmed. 2 minutes and the phone is still bright and clear. The display is still bright and clear. If it continues like this, when we get to 5 minutes, I'll turn the phone charging on. So I think the biggest difference here is taking the cover off of the phone. That has made a massive difference. There we are, 4 minutes. The screen is perfectly clear. I don't know if you're able to see that, pick that up in this video, but the screen is completely clear and easy to see even without the hood on. So, problem seems to have been solved. Whether it's the phone charging option or whether it's taking the cover off, I don't know yet. I'll turn the phone charging back on in 30 seconds and see if it makes a difference. Okay, so there's 5 minutes, not quite yet, coming up 5 minutes of flying with the screen perfectly clear. No hood, no phone cover, and phone charging turned off. So there's 5 minutes, so let's turn the phone charging on now. I'll stop recording for a second. Phone charging on. Start to record again, and let's see if the screen dims now. With the phone charging switched on, but the cover of the phone taken off. This will be interesting. So that's 1 minute with the phone charging on, the screen is still bright and clear. It's over 2 minutes now. The screen is actually the clearest and brightest I've ever seen it. So the phone cover stays off from now on. 2.5 minutes with the phone charging
Battery
on.
level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
Okay, well let's just try and keep her close to me and see if we can continue to fly her for another 2 minutes. So there's 5 minutes of flight.
Low battery.
So there we go. 5.5 minutes of flight with the phone charging switched on, and the screen didn't dim at all. So the only difference that I can see, but when I first flew, the screen dimmed after a minute and a half. And the difference between those two flights is that in the first flight where it dimmed, I had the screen cover, the phone cover on. And in the flight there where it's not dimming, I had the phone cover off. So I think that's where the difference is. It's nothing to do with the phone charging option on or off. And it's nothing to do with Apple's feature about dimming. It's about the phone cover, and I can feel that the phone is really cool now, even though it's in direct sunlight. But when I had the cover on, the phone was warm. So there you go. I conclude that the solution is to take off any phone cover you have, and it doesn't matter whether your phone charging is switched on or not. See you in the next one.